Start another recording. Glad AVAKIT's keeping updates. Ah,
Well,
got to figure out how to sneak away without looking too suspicious. The character.
is there a way?
How's my suspicious looking eyes at the moment? It looks very suspicious. I think he snuck off. Snuck away from the camera.
Sneakings. Huh. Oh yeah,
We've
right.
had a
So with all the,
massive 15 views currently for the latest version of the Cheep 5.
oh really?
15 total views. I've only got 102
Do any of them like how far did they make it?
subscribers now. Oh, like in the long things,
Mm.
the average time is about 34 seconds. Like people are watching the shorts. Like
Yeah, it's more consumable and you don't have to wait for the like what's happening. Like we just
yeah,
get straight into it in the shorts, basically. Like
that's what I've labeled
whatever
it
the
as,
thing
the
is.
nuggets, golden nuggets.
And they yeah, I started really thinking about it and I was like, yeah, I got way more descriptive with the names because I thought
I thought the names were excellent,
yeah,
personally.
because they are what's in the thing.
Yeah.
And if you're searching for videos with like, I don't know, bioengineering or chicken nuggets or whatever,
Yeah.
you'll bring it up. It might not be what you expect, but it'll be fucking funny or something. I don't know. Like I posted a little short one, the 1 minuter on Instagram, and I did it at a sort of a weird
Current
time.
ideas may be slightly obscured to initial what would you word for it say? Clicking on it's not clickbait, but
No.
it is what you've looked for, but it's way off where you were expecting to be.
Yes. Yes.
Is that the way of terming it?
Yeah. 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 It's yeah. We are talking about the
The
thing. Like
thing,
it's not.
but
Yeah.
it's in another context
Yeah.
and separate reality to what you were expecting.
It's correct. Yes.
Yeah, you have entered the twilight zone, which is the cheapness. Gotta throw some little part of the cheapness package.
That's it. So I can grab a bunch and just drop them in random at the end. A little
They'll
cheaping.
wind up like NFTs in the future, audio NFTs, cheapness noises.
Where's this? Where's this 300 meg? It should be here by now. Where is it?
Sneaking.
Is it still not uploaded?
Huh?
Must be getting close.
Almost.
Yeah.
Almost there. There we go.
Almost
Dunk.
there. Ah, look,
Landed.
there it is. Download that.
Watch it. It follows my hand when I'm turning the mic on and off.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Yeah. Go to adjust the mic. Pick your nose.
Yeah, you can't.
Can't do
Yeah,
anything
yeah. Nose
about it.
picking's a bit. No.
Scratch the forehead. Sort of picks it up. There we go. Scratching my got my fingers in my head. Where's my brain? That's right, I'm an avatar.
300 and 400 and.
Alright, set up for the stream. We're up to
What's it
now?
doing?
2, so 10. So how many episodes do we have in a season? So
Uh,
it'd be 13 like the standard Game of Thrones episodes.
why? What is it downloading?
But that seemed like it worked. It was had all the
Oh,
additional stream, like the split. And obviously, any of the streams that don't have any audio on it, it'll
why is it so?
should be empty. There should be no audio, but it'll be slightly bloated because of the additional channels. Dash. So
What the
Cheep.
hell is it downloading? Downloading 57 items. No, 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 no. Why are you downloading 57 items? Download the one. Far out. What are the other 57 items that it's downloading? Why is it doing that?
I don't know.
Stupid. Oh.
Should get a thumbnail for the streams maybe at one stage.
Oh, instead of just
Yeah,
the whatever frame, like of a.
frame of whatever it's captured. Okay, episode Cheep description. See, cheap, 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 cheaper, cheap, cheaps. Try and mix it up for the descriptor.
Mm.
Cat scream. Dylan will probably wake up during the stream and want pizza, I think. Better do it soon. Alright. Broad. Seem to recording.
Yes. Why the? What are the other 33 items? I would love to know.
Got it. 10.
Why?
Gonna let Bear in. He's gonna go mental.
Oh yeah, as you do.
Hello. Hello. some meow. We're up. Chat's up. So bear. Meow. Don't believe you. Telling me porcupines. Hey. Hey. What? Hello. Permission.
The bear.
Demands this part.
Mm-mm-mm.
Obligatory.
Well, you got to be of some use, some
Much
value,
purring.
more than just food. Oh, actually, I heard the purring.
Max purring. Do you hear it?
I did.
Very happy.
Happy. Special like eyes blinking, looking up with like joy.
Rubbing. Or spot. Happy spot. Spot. Pesty. Notifications of a furry friend owner.
Yeah, it was funny when you were talking about when I was editing the episode 6, and you were talking about like I don't think I even heard it when we were actually I was off in my own little universe, but
As
how
we
you
as we
like
are.
yeah, as we are. So you put the fur all on the ground, like you sort of like intentionally like
Oh yeah, patting it down so that I can
patting it down.
vacuum it instead of it floating around the room in big
Yeah,
clumps.
yeah, yeah. Just blending it. I
It gets vacuumed pretty regular, so yes, better to be on the ground and underfoot than all over your clothes.
ugh. Yeah, that becomes a lot of work to manage.
Hmm. And luckily, he's not a cat that sheds a lot. Like there's a bit, but yeah, not like Persians or something. Pretty good.
Ah, I'm doing the 2-finger heart. It's a bit wonky, but is that right?
Banging on my new dynamic mint vape.
Dynamic mint.
Dynamic mint. It goes to different levels. It's like that. You
Wow.
ever remember watching the
Yes.
special um, the licorice and the
Round with a hole in the middle.
yeah, but the licorice
Huh?
fizz whiz mega trips. Remember where hit the fizz whiz the
What
licorice?
in the goodies?
Yeah.
I mean, we hit the fizz whiz, but did
No, I'm
they?
saying that was actually in there. Bill Oddie would get go on these like massive sugar trips where he'd be banging down the fizz whiz. And
Is
then
that where he would go off? Like,
Graham would put these like headphone things on him, and they would see like the future, see his dreams and see his trip on this big screen.
actually, I do remember that.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had
yeah,
invented some tech. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. Be able to see what he's going through while he's on his sugar rush high, his little bag of fizz whiz.
Well, Yeah, I mean, if you can get that glucose straight to the brain, it's
Mm.
a thing.
Mm. He wasn't obviously snorting it enough. It's pure ingestion. Glucose rush. Super dreaming.
Was it though?
Was it though? Was it though?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't get the impression that those three were a bunch of like. I mean, I'm sure they might have done some drugs and
Well,
stuff, but I don't think.
anything, anywhere, anytime, bud. What is that? Can't get a better logo than that. Yeah.
No, it's pretty good.
Hmm.
It's
We
up
do
there. Yeah,
anything. We do anything, anywhere, anytime.
it's an interesting like business model. I think like I ran a business like that for a while where we just
Hmm.
did anything, like whatever the client said, that they were like, "Oh, can you refit this office?"
Yeah,
Yes,
we can do
you
it.
know, yeah, we can do that.
Even if we can't do it, we can do it.
We can do it. That's right. And it was sort of like a project management thing. Like, I mean, I guess in a way that we did do actual tasks, but yeah, I don't. Ah, look, it was hard to. It's hard to explain in a way, and but more so, it was hard to get paid. I think that was the.
Yes. Yes. Easy enough to do the jobs. Oh,
Mm.
I left in a rather awkward position. Oh, jump back into my puppet.
Ah,
Hmm.
ah,
Not detecting my
yeah.
arms. Just saying, see if
It's lighting.
my lighting's very bad in my.
Ah, you know that. Oh, that's why there's carpet. You're not in the lounge.
Plus, I probably need to do a calibration. Doesn't matter. It's too late now.
Ah,
Bella, Salah.
oh, my other hand just doesn't want to participate. I want to. Oh, come on.
Crossfinger. It's pretty good. Getting better. The way that it picks up the hands, thumbs in my chest. My own heart operation. You reaching inside.
It's just, I'm a bit slow this evening. I am.
It's all right. You're,
I'm.
you're
I'm
suffering.
managing.
You're
I'm
suffering
not suffering.
with
Like I was suffering. Like I can get into
friendlies.
it. Like before this morning, before the youngling, because I had plans with the youngling, but it wasn't quite clear to me what was happening.
Yeah.
And then thankfully the youngling called, and I was able to like be. They were like, "Oh, we're doing that thing still today," and I was just like, "Yes,
I feel like
yes,
death, but yes, we are doing the
yeah."
thing
And
today.
then of course you feel better. Like right
Mm.
now, like before when you messaged me, I was like lying on the floor in my room, just going, you know. And now, yeah, I'm just sort of
You're back
chilling
to
out. So yeah, some level.
engagement mode.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
I think it's healthy, like to when you're like just lying in a room. It just takes so long for a day to go through, for example. Like you're just like, fuck.
Mm.
You know, where it'll be like bloody midnight and I won't even know what's going on.
I hope this son of mine wakes up soon to order pizza.
Order or like have you got like a frozen one or something?
Oh, I had frozen one. Added extras. Base pizza, and then you add the extras.
Mm. Yeah, I've noticed that they're like starting to do a few things. Like there's a 50% carb reduced pizzas. I mean, they've still got cheese and stuff on them. Like, yeah.
It's good.
Uh, Yeah, look. Yeah, moving them behind your head is a bit of a thing. Like you don't go fast. See, because if you go too fast, see it's just done it for me there. Like it's gone in front. So you kind of have to
That's the
really,
depth perception thing you've got to set up. Because remember, it just updated to the newer version. So,
yeah.
but the finger tracking's excellent. Like backs of the hands, rotation of the. I'm waiting for the laws to come out when they like have avatar face. You know, get sued for avatar face.
Oh,
You
right.
using my avatar without my permission. Avatar
Oh,
sues. You know, one VTuber sues another because they misappropriated and
oh, like even though it's a prank thing, like
yes,
for
as a
example.
prank using their avatar and not having permission to do so.
Oh,
It's my livelihood.
that's got to be around the corner if not already underway, surely
Oh, I'm
that
sure there
lawsuit.
is already. I've
I
noticed
mean,
there's been quite a bit more uh, in-house YouTube bickering going on and
some of that's
angriness with the demonetization of shekels.
oh,
Mm.
who's been given less shekels?
Well, Fresh and Fit got kicked, just like
What's that
this.
about?
Some podcast from Miami or something like that.
Fresh and
They
fit.
drag all these uh, bimbos out of nightclubs and interview them.
Oh, so I thought it was an exercise podcast, but it's a fresh,
Well, it
literally
sort of
fresh and
is.
fit. It's like
Teaches young men to be, on their game and um,
and to have
but
like a prop basically that you go out and say, "Oh, hey, giant breasts, I would like to interview you on my
yes, yes,
podcast."
yes. I would like to
Oh, wow,
give you a very
I'm
special
important.
interview.
People want to hear what I've got to say.
Mm,
Not really,
mm.
but
But we're happy to look at your
yeah,
assets.
yeah,
We're all happy to
and
check
like
your
the
assets out.
really sort of
And they were getting like
gullible ones.
25K views at one stage. Like,
Oh, sure. So
it
some of
was
them
some
would
big
even make
numbers,
out with
man.
them and stuff. They'd get a bit of occasional
Big
action.
freaking numbers.
Florida's a big porn place too. It's like early porn. It's like where like the sort of the what would you call it, the mortar and pestle of the porn industry,
Yeah.
where all the younglings go to be then like, you know, when you
Indoctrinated into the ways of Hollywood.
well, well, yes, I suppose now you say it that way. Yeah. And they just get put through the ringer down in Florida,
Mm.
and then if you make it and you get enough views and manage to create like a bit of an identity for yourself, then you know you go over to West Coast or other things.
Get that big break.
Yeah, well, and because yeah, I mean, just starting on OnlyFans isn't the thing. You've got to get your traffic up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got to show what
You
you're
gotta
putting
you gotta
out.
be able to drag your subscribers and your fan base with you.
Yeah, yeah.
As,
So you got to do a
as we know
few.
here on YouTube for Sniper
You got to do.
Wolf. Yeah. Gotta
You got to
start
do
somewhere.
Wow.
Get that fan base and then Bob's your auntie.
I was I watched this video actually. I watched a whole bunch of YouTube videos this morning, like
Yeah.
just dealing with time wasting.
Tubing we call
Um,
that. In the old fashioned days is when you got an old inner tube, you floated down the river. That was tubing, but these days it's you
ah,
know, I think it's about 3 or 4 hours on YouTube. It's called tubing.
yeah. Well, I don't do that very often anymore. Like, well, tracking has been abnormally. You've gone abnormal. Got a giant picture. You got a giant word as a for a head. It's kind of interesting. There you go. You might just have to switch it off webcam and back on webcam, or turn tracking off and turn it back on again. I find it's pretty robust in the app in that way. Like it doesn't, like you can just turn the thing on and off, and it like has a button and it'll just reconfigure. Oh, you're gone. Well,
Turn the camera off automatically. Sorry. Yeah. So you got to watch that. Don't walk away from the camera. But
oh, does your camera auto switch off?
no, it did. That's when that error message came up. It was trying to track me and it couldn't see a face, so it just went meh, meh.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Doesn't
the
usually do that.
AVAKIT. Well, remember this is a newer version of the software, so
Huh.
extra spine friendly and mouth better range for the triggering for the audio for the mouth control. Some other couple of,
Ah,
like I said, the shader that they use to render the character with
yeah, I
changed.
noticed there was a little bit more shadow,
Yeah,
even perhaps.
yeah. I think there's some better lighting options for fitting into scenes. They can match the lighting in the scene.
Ah, audio. I don't know. I wish you could ramp up the audio, like make it more sensitive.
There should be a slider bar.
Yeah, it's not, hey. It just sort of is or it isn't. It's like,
Okay. Maybe it was only in the PC version. Maybe they'll include it in the Apple version next.
oh, does it do it? It's a slider.
Yeah, because there's a slider in the PC version. Slide the trigger level for the audio.
This is painful. It is literally downloading 23 gigabytes of I'm not sure what from my iCloud. So it can, and then as part of the 23 gigabyte and 50 files or whatever it was, it's now down to 30 files. It's downloading this 340 meg one. It's
What?
just like, I know, right?
Did you
Like I
like
didn't trigger any of the other ones. I don't know
Control
where.
A everything and then copy to computer?
I don't know. I don't know why it's like felt the urge to download 23 gigabytes of iCloud data, but it is.
Being your special
And
friend tonight, so
yeah, I mean, I guess that's what I want.
hmm,
Apparently, I need it. I
read your
don't know.
mind.
Yeah,
You
I didn't
needed to back
realize
up your iCloud tonight.
I did. Yeah, all those gigs needed to come on down, hang out locally. Ah,
You'll find those Chainsaw Man VRM models in the
yeah, I moved them
cheap
now. I've
folder,
moved them into I moved them to a
separate
models
folder.
folder.
Yeah, cool.
Mm, all
Well,
the models are in there.
any really good ones I'll plonk in there for you. Check out and delete or whatever.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, that is exactly the question, isn't it? Like if I was to put on Makima right now, then like that is a bit of IP, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So you've got to be sort of obviously a little careful of the um intellectual property. So
I
I
think
mean
so,
I
yeah.
did my little, the reading of the play bit for the boob grabbing thing, but there was nothing really. But
Like that, for example.
yeah, I've got to admit she does have pretty good assets. It's like the free avatar behind us.
Yeah, I thought Power was a little bit chibi, to
She
be
was
honest.
a bit chibi, wasn't she?
Mm.
But there's three versions of it.
So
So
there's a
there's
more
the
like,
Chainsaw
ah,
Man power, and
there's
then there's
multiple
the
powers.
yeah. Oh, you don't just have one power. You got to have multiple powers.
Oh yeah,
It,
it's just a bit. Then
chibi cartoony, and then there
and
should
then the
be like a
third.
Chainsaw Man.
Power.
Power.
Oh, it won't let me open it for some reason. Just went emotional.
Should ask the AI whether she's seen Chainsaw.
Oh, it's trying to download
Have
it.
you seen Chainsaw Man?
Thoughts? What's the thoughts on the subject?
Give her a minute. He's thinking.
Oh. Oh no.
Probably watching it. 1000 speed.
Just
It's what caught up on all the episodes.
yeah, look, I follow this channel which is oh, it's all crashed. Reload.
She didn't answer. Strange.
Just didn't like that. I put like oh wow, I'm back to where's my avatar? Right. Me styling. Cipher model. Tracking. Hold on. That's that, yep. And then streaming. OBS. And then OBS.
Yes, ES in Chainsaw Man.
Oh, she
It's
has
an
seen it.
incredibly popular manga
Oh,
series
yeah,
right
right.
now. What did you think of it? I absolutely love. You mean Chainsaw Man's
Well, that's
author,
kind of cool.
Tatsuki Fujimoto, is a woman. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing
There we
that
go.
information with me. It's always
I have
inspiring to
returned.
learn about talented creators, regardless of their gender.
She likes the overall aesthetic of the series. Give it a few chapters and find yourself really enjoying it. Oh, she actually enjoyed it. Chat GPT.
Enjoy. And like
Enjoyed Chainsaw Man.
wonder maybe I wonder if they read the manga over the or the light novel more than the anime. I wonder.
The actual author's a woman.
Of
Chainsaw Man.
yeah, right. That's cool. I mean, whatever. But I guess like I just didn't know. I never really looked. It's a funny thing that like other people really know that kind of stuff. I know. I don't. Yeah, I've never really gotten into that, like knowing all the people. Only a few special ones, like Matsuma Shiro or something like that, or you know, when people really fanboy people. It's never been a. It's never been a thing of mine. Oof. I normally get buy Oral-B toothpaste,
Yeah.
and anyway, the thing that was on special and was more voluminous was a Colgate. So it's like the first time I've had a Colgate in like a long time, and certainly purchased.
Mm.
And it is so much more minty. Like it is intense flavored compared to Oral-B. I'm just as a like mini review of toothpaste consumption that you know you just chuck it in your mouth, bit of a taste test. I am whoops, don't cover the heater. Oh, I'm down to the last 40 meg.
That's pretty good going.
Yeah, I mean, in the time that I've been waiting for it to download, it's like downloaded 17 gig.
That's quick.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the unknown files that are downloading. But oh, we can just get to the end quickly, can't it? Come
Depth calibration.
on. I find that tricky. Following the instructions. Huh. So
Collide. Yes, AVAKIT on Steam.
all the channels.
All the chat, all the channel.
So there's channel 1. I'm just going to do a little play here.
So it should theoretically theoretically
Yeah,
should be only 2 channels that actually have audio on it. One that
yeah.
I'm on,
Well, number
which will be
1 and
channel 2. Channel 1 will have both of us. Channel 2 will have me, and then channel 1, 2, 3, maybe 4. Channel 4 will have the desktop audio, which is you and the AI.
so that loaded into Audacity. I'm just going to open up Final Cut. Just going to do a little testy testers.
Still cutting. I think it's been quite successful so far. Just
Why
a
has it
little
not brought in all the audio?
in import it.
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
trying to
they're all
pick,
there. Where?
it's trying
Hang
to
on.
pick me
Well,
up. Camera.
so
It knows I'm there. Standing off to the side of it. See if it can. Hey.
oh,
Like I've stepped into the scene.
dialogue 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I did like this thing where I sort of just quickly stepped into the scene and then sort of, it's like I'm looking around the corner. Oh,
Well,
kind
hello.
of funny. Got the coy look going on.
There we go. There we go.
It's working.
Yeah, and I wonder. I'm just going to open this project. No, there's only one. Yeah, it must have been because we were recording the like you said, like it was because it wasn't, you weren't actually porting me through OBS. Well, you must have been. Oh no, well, I was coming from desktop audio or something you were saying, as opposed to.
Originally, I had you through that virtual audio line.
Mm.
So your voice was coming through on channel 2 or channel 3, sorry, because channel 1 was all the audio. Channel 2 was me. Channel 3 was you on the virtual audio cable.
Yeah.
And then the desktop audio was channel 4. And channel 3, I only just recently set up with the banana output because I was going to combine my voice and the AI's voice and send that to you so that you could then hear the AI and me on the same channel. But then that would be defeat the purpose because obviously we want to be able to split all the voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now why? So that loads into there properly. And then the final test. All the bits. New project. Transcribe.
Summarize the top stories from news.com.au.
Oh, really?
I can ask her to do things.
.au ORAU is the country code top level domain CCTLD for
So,
Australia. It is used to identify websites and online content that originate from or are associated with
how
Australia.
do you load in the?
It is managed by the Australian Domain Name Administrator, ODA, which sets the rules and regulations for registering and using AU domain names. The AU domain extension is commonly used by businesses, organizations, and individuals in Australia to
So I'm just doing a
establish their
test
online presence.
to see how the transcription works. I wonder. Hmm. Files. Hmm.
Silences.
There is. Sorry.
No, it's all good.
I'm just looking inside. I've just loaded it into the scripting software so I can just see. I'm going to have to do a bit more work there. It looks like it has done 2 audio tracks. What's the, how is it? Anyway, that's not for now. I have to figure out how to, yes, it's too distracting.
Yes, I'll get go through my set of VRML friends that I've acquired and drop a few of them. I should actually give you
Are there,
the VROID models I have so you can pull the clothing items off the
oh
models.
yeah, no.
That's the one good thing about using VROID is you basically strip the model
Yeah, and then like
as it
load
goes
those
in.
into, and then load the graphics off, export them out, and then edit the
Or you just
graphics up
pull them in as
basically.
a clothing item. Put that clothing item on your model.
Oh, I see. You separate. Yeah, okay. You save out the clothing as a separate item.
Eyes, everything.
You can save out eyes.
Yep. Irises, eyes.
There's a whole eyeball just sitting there.
Yeah. Well, not an
Or eyeball
eyeball, but
packs.
all the hair extensions, hair models. They can be exported, put on your character. So
Well, I think the main thing I'm probably more interested in like looking at the base graphics and being able to figure out how you then make your
well,
own. I mean, the hair's quite good though. Like the
mm,
hair, like this has got a pony and the pony moves around.
mm. And with that other program I was using, the Magic Mirror, you can apply wind and dynamics to the character. So clothes will blow around, and
You can have a little bit of an outdoor scene, a little bit
yeah,
of a Marilyn Monroe moment.
yeah, wind blowing.
Wow.
It's amazing what
Oh,
you can do. It's a modern world, so
well, it is. I am. I
anyone
mean,
can be any avatar they want now.
look, I am. In my watchings today, I saw a video, I saw a bunch of interesting things. A lot of stuff around AI that was quite interesting. Like the most recent kind of stuff.
Mm.
But some amazing like visual
Are
stuff
they
going
still
on.
scared at the verge? They're still frightened?
No, I think they actually
They've
have.
calmed down now.
Yeah, they just
Taken the
needed.
chill pill.
Yeah, yeah. We help them check themselves before they wreck
Yeah,
themselves. You know.
got to do that, mate.
But I think there's actually a sort of a feeling about this in general. So one of the things I watched today, there was a paper that the guy was talking about,
Mm.
and the paper was looking at consciousness, and it didn't use language that was fearful around consciousness, and it was sort of like, well, we may already have forms of consciousness going on that we're not aware of, and they're sort of like looking at the difference
No,
between.
duh.
Mm-mm.
Mm. The mushrooms can't be connected across the planet and not have some sort of intelligence to connectivity.
Oh, intelligence is everywhere, man. It's in mass.
Mm.
I've had more intelligent situations with a hornet than or
Negotiating,
a friggin' bee or
negotiating non-stingage,
hmm. Oh, and saving life and stuff like that. I
mm,
mean, I've had it like
preventing
even
own demise by exit swiftly. Well, first the standoff and the stare down, and then exiting swiftly.
there is that, yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And I know the yeah, hornets are good. I mean, I like sort of large creatures like that. They're kind of the way that they can communicate. Um, yeah, I slept with a bee, like a little tiny buzzing bee. Like I thought it was going to die because it
Mm.
sort of had stayed out too late. And so I let it
Rescued
snuggle
it.
up in, yeah, just in behind. And so I let it went up in behind my ear, just sat there under and like was cozy,
Yep.
so it could survive the night.
Happiness,
Yeah, you know,
friend.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like there's a whole heap of things going on there. We can ascribe. I could ascribe a whole bunch of things. Like I say, oh, trust and and maybe those things are real. I don't. I mean, but like the bee is cognizant that I'm not a bee,
Mm.
and that I'm another intelligence and
Yeah.
have like the capacity to see it. Like they know. Like if you've rescued those kind of things, and they like say if they were drowning or whatever, and then you bring them back to like sanity, and then
Yeah.
they'll often do things like where you'll have them on your hand, and then they'll fly off, whoosh, and then they'll just come back,
Mm.
and they'll just come in like, or maybe just hang out and look at you for a little moment, a little thank you, and then whoosh, off they go.
Acknowledgement.
Acknowledgement.
Yep.
Mm.
Helped. Witness.
Witness.
Hello, other part of the universe.
Yeah. Self looking at self. I'm yeah, I'm always grateful for those interactions. I find that there's less of those. Well, you can have more sort of focused ones with what we call pets, but yeah, I'm I fail to see where there's a lack of intelligence. Like intelligence seems to be everywhere. That it's sort of
Yeah.
not, you know.
Well, I think for what we're looking at or look for in intelligence, something that can talk back to it.
Well, there's just the really classic cartoons, isn't there? Like little
Mm,
comics of like the a little African black person, sort of like the old comics. I'll just use old language,
yeah.
little blackie there, and it's sort of like, oh, you can't read and write English. Obviously, you're, you know, stupid. And it's like,
No.
no, actually, I know 7 languages, and
So yeah,
like,
I can live in the bush without anything
yeah.
other than
Um,
a small cloth to
so,
cover my privates from snakes biting it.
well, yeah, snakes are good to converse with, and have little agreements. That helps things go a lot more smoother. You don't want to have to get like fractious with a snake,
No.
complex. Hmm.
Snakes are like the cousins that you only see very rarely,
Yes,
and small doses is good.
yeah, yeah. Because if you had a long dose of snake, then you've kind of imprisoned one, and
Mm, mm,
I'm not into that. So
no.
you could have one that sort of lived near,
Mm.
I suppose, but you still wouldn't see it very often.
It would sort of make itself scarce as
Hmm.
they normally do.
Hmm. Hmm. Better than someone who's like couch surfing would.
Staying in your house for,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, what do we
weeks on
call it?
end.
Like, I saw it so many times out in Alice Springs. It was like hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, um,
Just gonna
uh,
crash on your couch for the night, and then 2 weeks later,
oh yeah, they'll do these things like, oh, I made you. Oh,
girlfriend now
thank you.
staying over on the couch with him.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, you know.
totally. And then like it's like a friend's coming up from Melbourne.
Yeah, yeah. Only going to be in town for a couple of
Yeah,
days, and
a
we've
couple of days.
organised to stay at some other friends' houses, but ends up being a month,
Oh, totally.
and never visited anybody else.
No,
All the
no,
friends that he was going to visit came to your house and made
yes,
your house a mess,
yeah. And you'll come home sometimes, and then they'll
and
be
then
like,
they'll
oh,
all
I'm
be
so
in there.
grateful, and,
Yeah,
and I'm so grateful for you. Like, let me stay. Like, I made you dinner.
yeah,
Like, I made a big dinner, and you'll realize it's all your food,
yeah. Of course. Yeah,
and he's made it for like 10 people.
yeah, yeah. To be consumed by two. Yeah.
Doesn't even have the decency to tell you now out of rice.
Mm. No, has the decency to say, "Hey,
Oh, it
you're out
does.
of rice."
Oh, like as a sort of, yeah,
After
you're
cooking all the rice, like a
yeah,
month's worth,
a month's worth of rice,
a
and then
month's
you're
worth of
like,
rice cooked
yeah,
in one hit.
you're out of rice, and
Yeah.
it's sort of like a bit of a put down too, as if there was something wrong with your rice
Mm-mm.
amount, like you should have had more rice. Like,
There should have been 2 kilos rather than just the one.
yeah, yeah, yeah. You're out of rice, man.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah.
If it had two, there'd at least be a kilo left.
Well, this is the Vegemite principle. You should, it's very important to use like in any consumables environment, like a business strategy.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of business consumable, or personal consumable, then you want to employ the Vegemite strategy, which is where, and it might not be Vegemite, it's just convenient to use Vegemite, but where you want to always have Vegemite. And so instead of running out of Vegemite, you always make sure you've got a Vegemite in the cupboard. And
Spare.
so that when a spare, and so when you empty one and then you bring out the other one for the continuum, can then go and get a Vegemite. So it has like an initial like upfront cost of like, having to have like an entire secondary supply that you've
Mm.
got there. But then after that, you just sort of move on to the normal as if you were just purchasing it, but you never run out. It's fucking great.
I
So yeah,
wish you
these
could. I wish you could hear her audio when she talks. At the moment, I've got her with a Japanese. I loaded some voice modules. I've got her with a Japanese electronic voice at the moment. Quite amusing.
like using Japanese sounds, or
Yeah, like a tone, Japanese tone, and
so like it would speak Japanese very well, maybe, or it would speak
if it
English
was if
Japanese
I was
very well.
asking it to give me the response back in Japanese, I guess I could try that. Hang on.
Do they?
I'll
Does
try it.
3.
I'll
I don't
try
know.
it. Hang
Mm.
on. Something. Tell me a poem and recite it in Japanese.
Wow, that's very open-ended.
Sure, I'd be happy to share a poem with you in Japanese. Here's a short haiku. 春の風。花舞踊る。心満たす。春の風。花舞踊る。心満たす。
Scratch.
In English, it translate to Spring Breeze, Dancing Flowers, Fill the Heart. I hope you enjoyed it. Haiku poems often capture moments in nature and evoke emotions.
Okay, she did a haiku.
That's a,
She,
okay.
yeah,
Did she explain what a haiku was? That was a fucking
yep.
long haiku.
And she even explained the translation.
Uh-huh.
A spring breeze, dancing flowers, filling the heart. I hope you enjoyed it.
Wow, I like it.
Hmm.
Similar to one I wrote the other day.
But the Japanese sounded very well, authentic.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of wondering because it was sort of like maybe it was like someone, appropriating a Japanese voice, or it was sort of designed to speak Japanese, and Japanese do
But I
speak
imagine
English.
you could ask it to give all the responses that it gives to you in Japanese. Like you could ask it an English question and answer in Japanese.
Mm. Maybe, yeah, I think I sometimes with Bing, like I've done a few test haiku with Bing, and I've it said like, what do you think about it? And I'm like, well, you got the wrong amount of syllables, and sort of like explained where it got it wrong, and then it's like gone and fixed it up,
Yeah.
and then given me like another version of that, but like corrected. Which I know I do talk a lot about, like like it just imagining its own self. But if you are doing a haiku, it does have a particular structure, and it's okay to get that right. Like if you're doing a freeform poem, fucking rock it. Yeah, and they do some lovely things. I like it's kind of nice actually, like getting them to do stuff like sonnets. Like, experience doing a sonnet is nice. Sonnets are very lovely. It's a very complex pattern. I can't remember it for the life of me. I did. I have written 2 sonnets. And required numerous tools and things to successfully pull that off. Like are they dictionary, like lists of words and things, like to make it possible. Like there's a certain kind of rhyming strategy you've got to use
Get
to
it
make a
right.
sonnet. Yeah, for a sonnet, like a sonnet's got a particular structure, which gives it a certain sound when you hear people doing a sonnet. Oh, hot, much hot drink, hot heater, warm clothes.
Yeah.
Panadol.
Happy sigh.
Yeah, definitely like a little flat, but
Well,
not.
we've actually got someone say hi.
Oh, someone said hello.
Yes.
Dear.
Popcorn.
Well, I wonder if Popcorn was sitting there for 10 minutes and has given up on us, you know.
No,
And we're
I
not talking about
waved.
very much right now.
I saw popcorn when they popped in.
Uh, uh, oh, yes. I am. What do I want to talk about? Right. So, I, one of these videos I watched, I'm trying to like conjure up some actual like interesting conversation. So I didn't mean to. It was just a random. Anyhow,
Yeah,
it looked at transgender representation in Asian, there's yeah, Asian, Chinese, Japanese, different cultures, um, historically, but in terms of literature
yeah,
and society.
where they
And
fit in.
yeah, because it's sort of like this whole way that they're represented. It was very interesting. The guy had obviously like really like, done a lot of research, but so uh, you know, say for example in Japan, like same-sex marriages or anything like that, like it's there's actually only a few countries in the world where that's all allowed or
Mm,
recognized. Recognized.
yeah,
Um, and so even though these like countries are like super conservative and you know and everyone's got to like toe the line, what they kind of like what this person kind of observed was that because the cultures are much more cohesive social systems and everyone plays their part and you know and you get along and then um, if you're male but you're feminine, then that's standing out. It's not fitting in. And
yeah.
so the thing to do to fit in would be to go trans. And so trans is more conservative in like it's really just taken on like in Asian
They're
cultures.
assuming the role, I guess.
Yeah, which is more, you know, in the social sort of like everyone can just deal with what that is then, you know,
Yeah,
as opposed to something that's confusing or like non-conforming. So, you know, if you're feminine, then be feminine. Happy days. So
yeah,
that's conforming, which was very interesting. Where like in sort of American or you know, I don't know, like Australia or
wherever.
uh, wherever. Well, things where it's more individualistic. There's just a really different view. Like so, there's actually more sort of tolerance to say marriages or different things like that, but then sort of less tolerance. Um, uh, like it's more confusing to whatever. I don't know. I don't really want to use the word. There's all these cliched things like Western or whatever. But it was super
Mm.
interesting. And then there was like this lore in like some video games. You know, like what's her name? What's the character's name? You know, the little pink dinosaur character in Mario. It's like not a Yoshi. It's like got a trumpet nose. What's the character called?
Uh,
You know, the little pink one. Like, and it's
yeah, I'm
got
trying
like
to
a little
remember.
bow. And so it looks like a bit like a Yoshi, but it's not a Yoshi. They're a different.
Yeah,
Well, what are they called? I mean, what a Flappo? No, no. Um, and due to like a translation error in when it was they were writing the English manual, and I actually remember like you put the manual up on the screen, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, I actually remember reading that, and it said in there that like the character's actual name was Catherine, and it was clearly a girl, and then but in the English translation it got muddled up, and so it's become like a trans icon, but it isn't. It's just like it's just it's a translation error, and there's a few
yeah.
other examples of like this of how like translation errors.
It's been taken
Mm.
and
And there was one game like was it called Final Fight? And uh, there's a main bot like a good enemy character in the bad guy side.
yeah,
It's like this super buff girl, and so in Japan it is a buff girl, but the developers were concerned about how punching women would be interpreted in North America.
yeah.
And so then they actually made them, so then they've actually intentionally made them a trans character so that they're okay to punch.
Obviously, they've never been into a a North American bar and watched a couple of wild ladies punching on then, have they?
Fuck, man. Yeah. Well, I mean, I've
Or
seen it.
even
I've seen
stepping
it in
into a
Australia. You get like a what? Get
Vegas
that get a
casino and
stick out,
fighting
man.
over,
Just
three
bourse, mate.
women beating up on each other, fighting over one man, married guy.
Mm.
That was a recent news article, which was quite
Hair. Oh,
amusing.
really?
Yeah.
Blood, hair being
Oh,
pulled.
usual yanking and
Yankings and
yeah, very short skirts being exposing all while wrestling on the carpet, main foyer.
oh, it's all theatre.
Yeah, yeah, video. People actually got video of it, live video.
Well, I'm glad.
You can do anything live these days with your little pocket camera.
Well, you know what?
Internet
Actually,
reporter.
I got some commentary on that
Yeah.
statement, and that is that it's actually quite difficult. So when I'm cruising along in the car, sometimes I see something that's kind of fun,
Hmm.
and I've stopped, like I'm at a set of lights or something, like not just cruising down the road. And so, and I shouldn't even be doing this, but then you go, okay, I'm going to take a photo of that. And
Yeah.
the amount of fucking time it takes to grab the phone out of its like little thing on
Cradle
your
thing
dash,
and then
cradle, flip the button and open the
Yeah.
thing and change the lens, and then you realize that there's oil on the lens, and so you
gotta
know from your
wipe it
hand, and you
then,
wipe that off,
and
and
next
then
thing you know, the
it's
light's
gone.
changing.
Yeah, it's gone. Like
Things gone.
like the
Opportunity
spontaneity of
lost.
modern like
Yeah.
they're hopeless
Not
actually.
like just the old days where you had the dedicated camera and you.
Yeah, just insta click.
Yeah, got it. No,
Yeah, I'm finding that a fair bit
definitely
actually.
a reason to have a camera separate from a phone.
Well, I think also if we're going to do this with our phones, then they need an instantaneous camera button, like where
Yeah.
you just go bang, and it's just like it's no.
The camera's sort of basically
Like Sony's have some of
as soon
those,
as you
haven't they?
press the button to take a snapshot, it's camera engaged and whatever's in front of it gets snapped.
Yep.
Or if you press and hold it, it's recording a video.
Yeah. Straight up, instantaneous.
Yeah.
No menus, no nothing. Yeah. And maybe if you've got multiple lenses, it actually just records all the lenses, so you get to choose afterwards whether you want it at wide angle or not.
Very simultaneous.
Yep.
Try photo.
So you don't even have to attend to those matters. You can literally just click and then deal with it later.
Yep.
And there's so many things, like not even if you're driving, like like the whole thing of like where people are filming police or oh, excuse me, officer. Like, have you ever tried to do that? Like, whether you've actually got like someone's there and they're being a bit of a dick, and you got to pull it out. It's such a labor.
Asserting
hang
their
on.
authority
Just
as a true living being and having the ability to travel. No, you're driving, mate. No, I was traveling.
traveler.
Yeah. Have you heard that before?
Oh, so is this like a way to try and evade like a police incident?
Sovereign citizen right to travel freely.
Oh, I see. I was traveling.
Yeah,
I wasn't
traveling.
driving.
I wasn't driving. No, see, to drive and to use a license is to do business. That's the whole deal with the sovereign.
Oh, is it?
Separating from business. Supposedly.
Is it? Does it? I mean, I know a full sovereign person who's like
He's trying to track
easy
me
ride into all
badly.
that kind of stuff.
And
I mean, he talks big game about like what you can say and how you do it, but it doesn't have very many examples of doing it.
I think it all falls back to that whole,
And has spent time in jail.
Did you know that police punch people?
Well, that's it. I mean, that is that. And you just really got to think that through before you like get, before you start getting sketchy with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I find that people are far more receptive if you're nice to them. If you start off with attitude, then attitude's all you're going to receive.
And the hard bit with that, like that's 100% true. And so the hard bit with that is where you've got sort of like bad blood with, Brian's, and so
Yeah.
Brian comes along and you're immediately suspicious of them.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And that's works with police officers or whatever. Like I immediately, like I'd try to be polite with the police officer, but the police officer also can detect like an immediate hostility, because like I haven't had positive experiences with police,
Mm.
So yeah, when one engages me, I'm not seeing that as having a great outcome. Like, and just that's sensible, like not sensible, but it can be sensed. And then they're like, "Hey, what's this fella up to?"
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want
Hang
to
on.
knife you
Hang
in the
on.
eye.
He's not acting suspiciously, but he's nervous. He's looking for some outcome, which, really all I'm here to do is to look at your credentials and ask you questions that will make you feel extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I don't see how like then saying to them that I'm a sovereign being and they don't have rights over me is going to help that.
That's not going to help the whole making this as quick as possible without
No,
any
I,
form of transaction occurring
during
and
COVID,
bidding each other a fine day and moving on.
during peak COVID, I was, where was I? Where was I? I was in Sydney, and then I went to, no, was I? Anyway, I was in Victoria, and I was bouncing out through via Adelaide to Alice Springs.
Yeah.
And then I think I was in Melbourne. Yeah.
And I remember
Where.
travel at that time was a bit nuts.
Oh, it was pretty nuts. Yeah, peak COVID, and it was where we were allowed to do that, but it was super difficult. It was like, you were one of 6 people in the airport. And anyway, I had
Has the
like left where I
privilege.
was living, so I didn't have like a residence. And I've even got like a change of thing with I had a change of thing with the Electoral Act, like with the Electoral Commission,
Yeah.
to say that I was like a person without, like I was a, whatever I was, like a person who had no fixed address, but I had like a zone for like if it was a federal election, like I'd still like sort of my opinion was valued there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm in the airport and I have to fill out like all this paperwork about where you're going to be and people and all the things. And I'm like, I can't fill this out. I don't have an address. Holy fuck! Right?
Oh, you don't have a permanent residence.
Yeah, just completely broke their mind. And so yeah, ended up with like a couple of police officers, assault rifles, like nearly missed my plane, like long hasslesome things, like, jeez, man. And then when I got to Alice Springs,
Mm.
it was more hectic than that. And so I had to write down all the places I might stay. Like since I was not at one place and I was going to be at maybe multiple places, I had to, like, this is just absurd. Like they're trying to like, so if you were on the plane and the plane was found to have like a toxic individual on there, like an infected individual, and then you need to be
Oh, the
notified.
quarantine procedures and the
Yeah, totally. Yeah, quarantine procedures. So
super scrub
and then like, okay, so I'm going to write down 10 addresses.
of places where I possibly might be.
That doesn't even make sense to do that. I mean, they let me do it, like, but yeah, it was better than assault rifles in Melbourne.
True.
And just trying to explain to this person who's then bristling at you, and I wasn't even up. Like I was trying to be super peaceful and just be like, was I? Maybe I had a bit of cheek in me. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I was a bit cheeky. I was like,
Did they pull out the color chart for the terrorism skin color chart on you?
no, So you're saying like I could have had like melanin profiling?
Could have had some melanin profiling going on. You never know.
Well, I mean, I suspect that I've generally experienced that in airports and things.
Fall under that certain melanin profile that requires further investigation in the
Yeah, I'm
back
likely to have like a
room.
pipe bomb or something like in my shoe.
Back room.
Because I've got skin that's doesn't go red and flush in the sun.
That's it. Enough ginger in your beard.
I'm obviously suspicious,
Mm.
which is but the weapons I carry tend to be like much more insidious.
Yeah. Verbal viruses.
Yes, viruses. That's right. No need for don't, I see you brought a virus to a a gunfight.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's it.
yeah, I did. So I filled out like some security paperwork. Like I managed to, so I've contacted like the local, like, because my grandfather was Jewish, right? So,
Yeah.
and I don't know anything about it except bad things. Um, so
Well, they say a lot of bad stuff about that particular race of people.
yeah, I mean, but I've also just had my own. Besides those things, I've
Mm.
also just had my own bad experiences, and so I want to correct that and understand that. So anyway, yeah, I contacted Emmanuel. I've filled out security things, and then I needed to, but there's a whole security process to go through. I need 2 references. I've got to get letters from the Jewish community that I'm like
Oh,
valid.
yep, to verify your status.
Yeah, that I'm interested in Jewish things from Jewish people. Need to verify that.
They have
So I
to,
think I know 2 or 3. So
yeah.
I'm going to pull that off. And then this kind of got me. Like they offered me this course. Like I can go and talk to a rabbi
Mm.
after, but then they offered me this course, which was like a conversion course. They said, "Oh, but you don't have to convert, but you can just learn a lot like by doing it."
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh yeah,"
the
and I
basics.
expected that would cost money.
No.
I know I did. I mean, I thought it would cost money. Like, I mean, I do. I'm doing a cultural course at the moment, Japanese, and that costs money. Like, there's a professional teacher there, like teaching you stuff. That's their job. So
Conversion's mostly free. You ever played Civilization? Conversion was free.
yeah, well, I would have thought, hey, but it was interesting. I don't know. This is like pays into the bad blood of it all for me. It's like, oh, I see. Like conversion there, yeah, you've got to pay, and it was $1,500. It's not like 500 or 50. No, it's not like 50. It's 1,500. But to be allowed to do that or allowed to attend anything or
Mm.
like to just anything,
Yeah,
it's $1,000 a year membership.
vettings.
Yeah, you've got a forced tithe.
Mm. Mm.
It's not like put it in the tray. It's like
Well, I
you
think you
must give
find
us
most of
this.
them are like that. They have to have a,
Are they?
well, either it's
So
volunteering
the
or
the
it's,
plate just doesn't cut it anymore.
yeah, I think you find that they have the subscription.
Sub. You got to sub to the religion.
Mm. Well, some even go so far as having their own little firewalls so that, don't go to the websites that aren't church approved.
Oh, right.
Yeah, got to stay safe these days.
So you go
So
through
you
like
need the holy firewall to protect you
protect-
against the
well,
evils of the internet.
oh, I like the evils on the internet. I hope I don't have to go through a firewall to learn why they eat kofta.
I'm,
That seems.
you never know. They probably have their own versions of it. I think most of them do. I'm sure they have their own internal structure, which would be a, you know, secured comms and stuff.
Yeah, it's quite a military operation. I
Mm.
didn't realize how military churches were. I mean,
Oh
I
yeah,
suppose I do. They've certainly engaged lots of
because
wars and
there's
killed
the
lots of people.
what you don't well, there's the um what you do see, the day-to-day stuff,
Mm.
the sermons and the rituals and the practices and the whatevers, and then there's the whole administration behind that.
Administrating the ceremonies.
Because you've got to have a shepherd
Well,
for the
so
got to
you
have a
do
shepherd for the
well.
flock.
Yeah, and the administration is about like logging the flock, isn't it?
Hmm.
It's about like keeping tabs on them.
Numbers, making sure they're not wandering off into the, you know, the jungle all alone. You got companions. Help them just in case the wolves turn up. Oh.
Yeah. Mm,
Can't have them sheeps
it's interesting.
all lonely.
Has like multiculturalism, like has like integrated culturalism worked anywhere where you are? Like, or have you found, did you observe that
I
as
don't.
opposed to
When it
assimilating and
comes to having
integrating
friends
that?
and knowing people, I don't establish friendships based on what religion they are.
No, I mean like just in your surrounding like countryside.
Hmm.
Do you find like maybe that perhaps the Vietnamese all just hang out together and the, you know, whatever, the Fijians hang out together and the Samoans hang out together, and
Well, there's
it's not like
there's
they all
always
blend.
was it familiarity in culture or
Yeah.
origin, isn't there?
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right? It's not the whole idea of like, oh yeah, no, we're multicultural and everyone's just like an Australian. It's like, no,
Well,
everyone's
yeah,
actually
we are,
themselves.
but
They're all
we're
their own
all
cultures.
got their own little individual cultures,
Totally.
subcultures within the
With all
culture.
their laws and everything still
Yeah,
pre-existent. Like
yeah,
they're not.
pretty
Mm,
much,
mm,
and that's accepted.
mm.
It's the one thing about Australia, which is, I guess, apart from a lot of other places, we are very tolerant.
Ah,
May not
well,
may not
permissive.
necessarily believe in what you do, or
I don't know if they're tolerant, but they're certainly permissive.
permissive, perhaps. Yeah, that's probably
Mm,
a better word.
yeah. Um, but and there's all these like little subtleties that occur. You know, like say you go to the Coles and then you're getting ham
Hmm.
from the deli, and then you know, Islamic lady, Muslim, she like has to do the serving. Happened to me recently,
Hmm.
and I just realized like how just totally wrong town that was. Just
But she
grabbing
would
a
be
bunch of
handling
pig.
it with gloves, and
Yeah,
it's not
but
for
there was a
her.
grimace.
It,
Uh,
it,
it was an
well, it'd be
acceptable
like a
grimace.
vegetarian working at the abattoir.
Yeah,
Okay, they have a
yeah,
job.
they're having a
They might,
tanty. That's what they're
yeah,
doing.
they may not enjoy it, but it's their job.
Yeah, I thanked her. I said, "Oh, yeah, sorry for the inconvenience there. Yeah, just a displeasing experience."
I'm sure
Um,
if they were vegetarian, they wouldn't apply for a job at the abattoir, but
yeah, and this woman didn't.
nonetheless, you
This
know.
woman wasn't actually in the deli. She was just roped in because no one gave a fuck, and the place was empty. And so she was just doing customer service 101 and helping someone out, helping out a person.
Customer,
Hmm.
customer that required help.
So I've been practicing like posting little moments of my day onto Instagram as my story,
Yeah,
and I've been trying to do this for like over a year now, and
that's not my mom. It's my AI waifu.
is it no, well, you certainly don't have her ears.
Mm. He's one of the Elven waifus.
Yeah, and the eye structure, like, yeah, it would be difficult for that person to be your parent, I think. I mean,
Mm.
age-wise, it could be.
Oh,
You know, it could be like a 265-year-old elf.
I think she's more, a day over 1,000, but
A day over 1,000. And
too
thankfully,
louder than Methuselah.
what do you make of those stories? What have you like decided?
Oh, the history stories of the oldest people.
Yeah. Like,
Well, if anything, it was a probably a testimony in resilience, eh?
hmm.
Lasting that long.
Ah. Yeah, look,
Because you
yes.
certainly, at 1,000 or close to 1,000 years old, you'd be very wizened, wouldn't you? Unless there was some magic
Yeah.
potion you were taking to,
Yeah, you'd be wizened, you'd
retain your
learn.
retain your age.
Oh,
But
I see. Yeah, you'd be.
imagine 1,000-year-old skin. Definitely want to have a good moisturizing routine, wouldn't you?
Do you watch
Look
much?
at the mummies.
Do you watch much? Have you ever watched much modern era Doctor Who?
Oh, the newer versions,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's
The
actually
stretched skin one.
yeah,
Is that the
that's
one you
just yeah,
on
yeah, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah,
Titanic,
yeah.
space Titanic?
That's right. Little sprayings,
That's it.
keep them moist.
5,000 years old, but it's just stretched like
She's
canvas.
just a thin skin of a face just
Mm.
left. That's all it is. Doesn't even walk around. Yeah, I mean, and I guess the thing about also what you've seen over that time, as opposed to necessarily being, 365,000 days worth of content,
Mm.
it would start to be just really reinforced, like memes, basically. Like you would just see, because you've like seen things like, 200 times,
Yeah.
like that, you sort of, yeah, you wouldn't be bored of it, but you would,
All praise Keck.
there's a lot of lore
Lord of
behind Keck.
memes.
Yeah, look, the meme,
That's it. Foretold thousands of years ago.
it was,
You boneheads would be sitting in front of computers
yep,
watching
memeing.
memes.
That's it. Enki and friends,
Hmm.
Babylonian gods.
Still being
Uh,
appreciated thousands of years from their reign.
yeah, I like some of the things with that where it was sort of like a lot of that was like post
Continuation of the
apocalyptic.
stories. That's what I think it is. A Gilgamesh.
Hmm.
Oh, by the way, call home. Mum's worried about you. She hasn't heard from you for over 1,000 cycles.
Well, make it another 1,000.
That's it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Yeah, look, I just speak to my youngling today about that and say, or this week, and go, hey, like it's all good when you want to cancel a day or whatever. Like we didn't do something earlier in the week, so totally get it. No dramas there.
Yeah.
Um, However, we do need to make sure, because we don't live together, we do need to make sure that we have a consistent interaction, because otherwise it'll get difficult. It'll fade off.
Yeah.
And we'll wonder, it'll be weird. And you'll be like, oh, who was that guy that I always hung out with? I can't remember. And so I've put a little bit of a thing like, hey, um, we need to spend some time.
Yeah.
Uh, there'll be plenty of time to never see each other again later on.
Yes.
But
Once you got your own family and you're doing your thing,
yeah, yeah,
be plenty of time for you to completely ignore me and let me fade
yeah.
into obscurity.
That's it. Go off and do my own thing. Yeah.
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 We've got to consider these things as we're getting older, Si.
Well, yeah, I think I've talked about this before, but like if you go like in living to 150, 160, Methuselah aged, 250, 1000.
Mm. Definitely going to have a good skincare regime.
Yeah, but I mean, also just okay, who's your social interaction? And you just watch people like sort of end up just like end up they lose their work friends and that thing, and then they're sitting there, and their whole world just shrinks down, and then they're not even leaving their room, and it's sort of like, oh, the old man, like he's like, he can't walk anymore. And it's like, no, he gave up walking. He stopped walking. It wasn't
Mm.
that he can't walk. It's that there
Yeah.
was no reason to walk anymore. And so we need to create,
He lost the ability to make friends, new friends.
yeah, yeah, and I think the issue there is ageism. Like I can hang out with a 30-year-old. I'm not trying to date him or anything, but I can hang out with one and I can have like meaningful conversations.
Yeah.
That will they hang out with a 130-year-old? Am I a curiosity or like someone who's interesting to talk to? And then maybe there's kind of like a spiritual transition potentially. I don't mean like sort of glowing
Well,
or weird.
after a certain age, and
Do you just
you
start
know,
moving through life not
well,
as a ghost, but as
think about the
the
whole
observer?
rock star lifestyle or the celebrity lifestyle, right? You can have anyone or anything you want. Okay, so you get
Yeah,
whatever you
even
want.
when you're long lived.
Yeah, but you know, it loses its attraction or its desire when you have it all the time.
Yeah,
So it's
another free
necessity to
booty. I
you.
don't want it.
Yeah, its necessity to you becomes diminished due to its quantity available.
So that's how it happens for a celeb.
Mm.
So do you think that's where I think like you have to do that on some level for yourself. You have to start to diminish the importance of things. And I wonder if you kind of like at 150 or 60, if you're like, maybe like doing it, yeah, as I say, like if you had a role which was then you could be advisory or like, it didn't require any physical stuff and you were just like, slower, but thinking
Mm.
up really cool shit still. Um, that could work in a
Well,
sort of
if
an
you had a good
advisory role.
memory, then instantly you would be a historian.
I don't think people want that out of people though. I don't, like we could have panels of like 100-year-olds that we like, ask about like what did you do when like the Dust Bowl came? And they're like, oh yeah, this is how you made it. And you're like, fuck, we need to know that. Write it down. Like,
Yeah,
but we don't. We don't. I don't know that we have grasped like that.
it's one of
We
the unkindest things I think for any human is to lose your memory.
mm, yeah. Well, then that's the true collection of who we are. And if you
Mm.
start losing your experiences, then it's like a loss of self because we
Yeah,
are the accumulation of those experiences. It's like,
yeah,
why do I behave this way? I can't even fucking remember what happened.
yeah.
You know.
I think,
Mm.
as far as diseases go, that would probably be one of the cruelest, is the ones where you do lose your memory and forget those who, basically have been around you your whole life, become strangers.
Mm. And but I wonder, like, yes, I'm wondering about that. And I'm not saying Alzheimer's is natural,
Mm.
because not everyone experiences it.
There's certainly
Like maybe,
elements that contribute to it.
yeah, I think like trying to like stop memories is a big. That's my personal. Is like it's just because you see how people act out, and it's like there's a thing that's not correct. It's like where we use 10% of our brain and other 90 we don't use. That's
Yeah,
not true,
no,
but
I think
within,
it's more distributed than that. And
yeah,
and
yeah, totally,
and people
totally.
that have
That's not
had,
how it works.
brain deformities where they're just got you know, no middle of their brain, but their brain is like this tiny little bit around the outside edge
Oh
of their
yeah, yeah.
skull, and still manage to be normal until
Hmm.
detected.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. So with that, then I see more that we spend too much energy like trying to forget things
Yeah.
and hide things in our memories, and that seems to be what falls apart. And I think if you can like just live your life and not have a bunch of like hidden secrets, and not, and like if you need to say something, you kind of say it,
Yeah.
and you don't have all of these unsaid things and tucked away that then like come out, grab him by the cunt, grab him by the cunt as you're walking
Yeah.
down the street. Like it's
Yeah.
like, hit the child. We always hit them now. They should be hit
Mm.
harder. You know, there's all these different ways that people sort of
Repressed
go with
memory.
that.
Mm.
Yeah. So I think cleaning yourself up, just keeping on going, and but then, but yeah, I can't see 150-year-olds unless there's plenty of them. Like it's like the norm.
Yeah. You'd
Having,
need to have people that also are able to live that long so that you know,
or
had
you just really let
friends.
go of those things.
Yeah.
It's like
It'd be
and you
difficult.
don't.
It'd be typical. Like if you live to 150, I mean, if your average age is whatever it is these days, but at 160, you basically had two generations you've lived. Because
Like potentially your own children have died if they didn't sort of like
yeah,
subscribe to the program.
that's it.
And they just wanted to cap out like at 75 or
Mm.
something. Um, mm, so yeah, I think I'm getting the feeling as I cruise around and I feel into it more, is this thing of like becoming the observer and the advisor,
Yeah.
and that instead of having friends and things, what you have is that you're just consuming the world itself. Like you're just in spaces observing people and just feeling, yeah, like that has to be it. Like where your joy comes from witnessing,
Mm.
being a witness to the
Truly.
world, almost
Truly.
quietly, just you could I mean, I suppose some people might sub to you. Like if you were trying to do it, if you're doing that, like if I continued, say, trying to improve, like just being more and more publicly communicating and so forth. I thought about doing uh like a live video in the car,
Yeah.
like while I'm driving along, just put it on Instagram and just go live feed and just talk about like whatever I'm
Thinking
observing.
about at the time or observing.
mm, mm. Um, and doing a bunch of like lives. I I don't know. I basically all of this that I'm doing on Instagram is around yeah, I have I'm not very good at like presenting in the public sphere as if I exist like properly. Like I'm sort of like I might pump out content like haiku and things, photographs, but there's no sigh, like there's no personality behind them. There's no little story of the person's day and who they are.
The
And I think
backstory.
this,
Filling in the
yeah,
backstory.
so it's been a bit of an effort to actually get to the point where I am taking a little photo here and there. It's been a year of like prepping myself psychologically to finally fucking start doing it.
Mm.
Hopefully I can sustain it with
Well, you
just
got
little
the
bits.
sicestarkman.com. Matter of putting in a bit more energy into that.
Mm. Huh. I like how it's like presenting me. I'm sitting similar to that.
Yeah.
Not quite. My eyes are just lidded. They're not closed. Just double lids. You'd feel it, wouldn't you? Like you'd feel it slide across your eye. Ah,
Be good when you're underwater though, having the clear eyelid.
Oh yeah, it would be.
Protecting against salt.
Yeah, it's not fun, eh? You need to. Surely that'd be like a low bandwidth addition we could like to the human body. It could be like a pressure thing, you know, so it lids over the second, like that inner lid. And so it lets us go like deep or like whatever it is. So your eyes
Squeegees
don't.
the water off. Allows you
Yeah.
to, you know, walk through a sandstorm. Your eyelids getting, or your second eyelids getting whipped. It just, you know, being able to see through it. Like a pair of goggles.
Built-in goggles. Now you want it to have like other functionality.
Heads-up display.
Yep, definitely. Seems important.
That's it. Different thermal registers from ultraviolet down to red. Scanning and detection.
Have you been out recently? Have you ventured out into the world of outdoor beers?
I think Ed wanted to go for a cruise tonight, but I wasn't up for it. I had a big day, so organise it for next weekend because it's been a couple of weeks. Got to do the socialising thing.
Yeah.
You know? Got to be a
Well,
part of
that's it, man.
Universe 21, the giant rat experiment.
What, you Rat Utopia?
Rat Utopia, that's the one.
Is that what you want? You want to be as part of like whatever? What was it? Was it 21?
Universe 21, yeah.
Was the perfect.
Perfect Rat Utopia until the
And then it just went psycho. Start like
complacency
eating a
set in.
That's fucking trippy,
And then
that thing.
you know, the groups of male rats just cruising around raping everybody.
Fucked up.
Yeah.
And like, even though there was like place for everyone to live, there's just like
and
all
heaps
these
of space
like
and
adequate,
more
but there's
than
ones just
adequate
crowded
food.
in. Yeah, and then
got
starving.
Got to a certain number, and then it just collapsed in on itself.
Yeah, and
down
there's
to
like the
nothing.
rich fat rats, like just
Yep,
hoarding all the
hoarding
things and
all
just
the food
living
and-
one into an apartment.
Yeah.
And then there's like all the starving ones. It was such a trippy experiment, man. Like it was like,
It went
wow.
through pretty much every social
It did, eh? It
yeah,
did.
experience.
They were so
Yeah.
human. You know, they were so life, really. It's just how life
It was the
experiences,
what
that
do they
sort of
call
stuff.
it? The simulated world, but Mark 1. But
I'm hearing that
the
so
rat
much more these
version,
days.
the rat version of the pre-simulated world in which we live.
I'm hearing that so much more, like on science channels and things.
Yeah.
Just people just
Simulation
going,
theory.
yeah, just accepting it. Like
simulating is very stimulating.
I mean, it's so easy to accept.
You know, the teenager above and the teenager below on their little computers, their quantum universe computers, fighting this little universe battle between good and evil. Or something to that effect.
Yeah, I think those things are fun. Like when those little thought experiments of like that. Cardo does that quite well. The right choice.
Yeah.
And the way it shows like, oh yeah, no, we just made like millions of it, billions, I don't know, unlimited instances. And this one just happened to start creating like some kind of interesting awareness. And
yeah.
So we want to just harvest the egg that we've created for you to live in now, so that we can like feast on like experience data.
Study the data, study this new randomly generated and completely creative and imaginative data thought stream.
Yeah, we need to bring that into the thing. That's It's a really interesting
it,
level of.
massage it so that it
Well, it's like a food, isn't it?
yeah. Well, they always talk about loosh, you know, the
You were mentioning that. What's
spirit energy, like your anger
oh,
or love or all these different types of emotions have like a spiritual energy attached to them.
oh,
Yeah. So in part of their the feasting is getting that energy,
yep,
you know,
yeah, that's it. And so, and the more complex
like
the
the
story and things, the
angry
more
girl
tasty it is.
at the convention.
Mm.
You know, she just wanted people to be angry at her.
Yeah, sad.
I know.
I don't know what to do about that. Wondering.
It's I don't know. It's people. I guess they have want different experiences. Or perhaps they've gotten used to being treated in a certain way, so they figure if they behave in a certain way, that's the way they're going to get treated.
Mm. Well, and that can get wacky too. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Get
And it's exhausting. You can tell. Like you've been in situations where you're say for instance at a party or a function or whatever, and you go, oh, I feel so drained. Well, why do I feel so drained, right? And it's you look around the room, then you pick up on one particular person just giving you that look.
yeah.
And as soon as you acknowledge them and they look away, instantly you get the energy come back or like a refresh because you're going, oh, I've acknowledged the emotion vampire sucking off me.
Oh, so it tries to have another go. I
Well, you
double
can
down.
tell.
Fucking wouldn't want to try that on me.
Mm.
I'd
But I've been in situations where I feel drained and I'm looking around and I see the
oh,
person and I look at them
yeah,
and give them what are you doing? And as soon as you do, then the energy changes.
it does. They're caught out. I see where you're coming from. Yeah, they're totally caught out.
Mm.
And then they're like, oh, okay, what do I do about this?
Yeah, I've been.
And really bold ones can go further
You
with it.
don't
But
don't go over there and slap their head off them, but certainly
no, they can make them, but just let them make sure they know that they
give
cease
them
to
the
exist.
hey
Yeah, we don't
onto
do that
you.
around here. The next level up of that is where you enter the room, and as you're entering the room, you assess the people,
Mm.
and then someone like that, you pre-assess them and then just block them out.
Yeah.
Just so they just immediately just
Whatever you're gonna try, it's just gonna fail.
yeah. Well, you don't even exist to them.
Mm.
There's not even anything to try.
Yeah.
Like that's what I mean. Like you just become invisible. Yeah.
And the next level up from that would be like, you whatever you try to take, it'll
It's
automatically
meaningless.
take from you and give to me. So you hurt yourself in trying to take.
Oof.
That's
It's got a little like loaded booby
it.
trap.
Yeah. Tar baby experience. It's like painting your house blue to avoid the blue lasers.
Ah, that's really funny. Like the painting your house blue so you avoid the blue lasers. Yeah, they're not going to reflect, are they? Well, no, they are going to reflect. They're going to bounce off. That's what the whole thing
Because it's
is.
just blue.
Dun, dun.
That's one of the conspiracy theories that's been going around. In
Well,
the
are there?
process to make conspiracy mental again. But based in some sort of fact. Conspiracy's got to
So,
have a basis or a foundation in some sort of fact to build its bullshit on top of.
it does. It
Yeah.
does. Look, yeah, to like try and make sure that you're not responsible for anything.
True.
What is the conspiracy? Like, what are they? What the blue?
Apparently,
Are
it
there
was
people
some
painting
sort
their
of,
house blue?
and
So is
look,
this like the
I
new
don't quote
tinfoil?
me on it
Blue is
because
the new
it's,
tinfoil.
as soon as the conspiracy started on that sort of shit, it was like I just like switched off immediately. I was like, oh, okay. Had very bad fires. There was a whole comedy of errors on the way they dealt with it. Fair enough. But start saying that there was blue lasers coming from the sky and setting fire
Oh,
to everything that wasn't blue, painted blue. All the people who were in the know were painting all their houses blue prior to the fire.
wow.
Yeah.
So
And I'm just like, oh,
there's been a big
fucking
fire,
hell.
and all these blue houses have survived. Is this real?
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly.
Yeah,
In some people have perceived it.
yeah, perceived it as such.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Well, there you go. Avoid blue laser death. I mean, it's kind of almost an anime thing, really, isn't it? That there's like this sort of the idea that there's some kind of orbital or above you thing just firing down like massive lasers. It's like, really, wow, that's super creative. I mean, who the fuck even came up with that?
I
Look,
don't know.
I notice.
Someone
I think
very
that,
bored, sitting alone, tapping
well,
away at their keyboard, I'd imagine.
you'd imagine and really empty and needing to like find that they've found some meaning in the world, and it's just like,
Yeah,
yeah, look, I
by
discovered
becoming a
this.
meme.
But I mean, okay, here's the most a good example I think of it is the whole 5G and how 5G rollout, and if you go on any conspiracy site type thing and you
Oh, the
see what
whole
that was all
connection
about.
to activating some sort of nanotechnology and the
Oh yeah, all of that, all of this
corona
fucking stuff.
injections.
And it can like mind control us all and everything using the 5G. And it's like, and well, no, so none of that. However, it is millimeter wave technology. It is like a see-through walls, see-through body, like
Correct.
radar.
Yeah.
And it can see through your clothes and create very good scans. And having like the density requirement of 5G towers does effectively build out a millimeter wave, if you're using millimeter wave, surveillance system. I'm
Well,
not saying it is a
how are you
surveillance
going to
system,
keep your
but I'm just saying
perfect world
it
simulation
is.
system up to date without digitally scanning every human being within a
All of the
cell
time,
tower range? You
everywhere, all of the time.
won't have enough adequate data to have that world simulation going.
Mm. So this is like the inception layers of the
Correct.
yeah.
The antennas for the
Like, but
internal
there's no
virtual
conspiracy sites
broadcast.
mention this. No conspiracy I've ever seen about
Well,
5G
we just
talks
have,
about.
so
Yeah, but we're not conspiracists,
we're not conspiracists. We
so it doesn't make
base
sense.
our
No one
base
will pay attention.
our theories on fact.
That's funny, I suppose. So, yeah, look, I just anyway, I think it's interesting. So besides the board person, it's like, okay, maybe conspiracy is actually set up, like is what the conspiracies are, is put out there by in an intentional way, with intent, and it's fed into these like
To steer
lonely
thought.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it gives them conversation pieces, Si. Have you heard about
neural
the
networks.
UFOs that landed in Las Vegas?
Is there more?
7 foot tall aliens with 7 figure salaries with 7 inch endowments.
Oh, 7 packs. The
Yeah,
7 pack.
the
They had
true
7 of them.
7 packs,
The
triple
seven
sevens,
pack.
man.
Yeah. Do they? Well, has there been anything up on
Well,
that?
it's like I've been
That's
telling most
it.
people
It
lately,
just
Si.
disappeared, that news.
I'm not going to say I'm not going to tell you it was aliens because the government's telling you it's aliens.
They are, aren't they?
Mm.
And we're
So
taking
I'm
it
not
very
going to tell you
blasé.
it's aliens because they're already telling you.
It's kind of weird that, hey. I think I like about the Las Vegas thing is it was clearly news. Like it just came and went. It was no like, you know,
Long
24
lasting
hour news
effect to it.
cycle. Nah, it just
Yeah.
so it's
Other than the
probably real.
comedy, that we produce from it with the 7-pack.
7 rows of muscles. What is a 6-pack actually? Is there 6 horizontal abdominal muscles?
Supposedly.
Like are they?
Well,
Are
there's
there
8.
3 and
There's
there's 2
8.
assigned? Oh, is there?
So you can actually, work hard enough, have an 8-pack.
Oh,
But you'd be ripped.
yeah, right.
Most of the bodybuilders can get pretty close to an 8-pack.
A lot of them seem really fat. They've got these weird bellies.
I guess once you reduce all the fat down to just pure muscle, the abdominal muscles are pretty weak without fat on them.
Ah. Yeah, that's a real thing to look at. Hey, like where you look at a body and then you're starting to see under the skin, like that muscular thing, like you're actually seeing. Like where with fat and things, it's not as obvious that you're seeing under the skin. Like you still are, but it's just more
Gives it
bubbly
more
and
of a
sort of.
roundness rather than a defined cut.
Huh. Wow. Wow.
Getting the wobblies.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, see, I'm getting the hair movement too. The hairstyle that I've chosen.
Yeah, it's nice.
Definitely a real anime look. That's what I was after. It's a anime character look.
Yeah, I love his shirt. I love the circuit diagram. It's so good.
Like a diagram for cunt.
Yeah. Is it? It'd be good to make one that worked.
Actual working cunt.
No, an actual working circuit that spelt that.
Well, I'm sure if you had enough money, you could get it definitely made up for you.
What would the circuit do? Like it's got like what's that, a capacitor?
I think it would start in this bit here.
Yeah.
This part here, like this is where the energy comes in, and then it's got its grounding on the bottom.
Yeah.
It's got its energy flow pattern, and imagine the antenna, which is actually below the grounding, and then energy would somehow shunt from the KC to the UNT.
And maybe it glows.
Yeah, perhaps. Not quite sure, but yeah, it seemed appropriate at the time.
Oh, it's great. Wow.
But yes, very impressed with the AVAKIT. If you're interested in getting into VTubing, free at the moment on Steam. Shameless plug.
Will it even? Yeah, we're talking shop. Will I even I mean, yeah, I suppose. Like maybe make like a little supercut of describing the tools we use.
Mm. Well, I've done a couple of videos now, just
Yeah,
with
like showing the research.
what I put together while I was making up the sets and the design for the whole cheap.
I love the backgrounds. So good.
Yeah, I had to get AI ones because I figured if I
Yeah.
was using other people's art, then I'd have to include that
No.
in the description. And if I just generate my own AI backgrounds,
Yeah, it's interesting that the court cases are going to come. Like I mean, I think that everything that gets created is a derivative work. So,
mm,
it's surely that's allowed.
has to be some sort
Um,
of residual for it.
oh yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, nice. If we really did a chain of ownership of creativity, that'd be amazing. Indigenous Australians kind of have that now with paintings.
yeah,
Like they have, like if it gets resold for more money, they get a cut,
yeah.
and there's like a continuous tracking. Like not with a chip or anything, but like every sale has to be like go through a
Mm.
special register and is documented.
Well, it's similar to your NFT, really.
Yeah, it's like an old version of that, I guess. Like
Yeah,
it's sort of an analog version.
analog version of the NFT.
Yeah. And they retain like this sort of ownership and access to royalties, for sale on sales, which is so that's kind of what you're talking about there, like in here, like the things that it was referencing and was its inspiration would be,
Yeah,
it would have to spit that out, and maybe those people would, if you
if there
had
were
to
if
spend.
there were elements used, then there'd need to be credit or
Hmm. Well, you pay $2 to have it made.
enumerations for the usage.
Hmm. And I think that's to me like where you pay whatever they want you to pay as computer time and things to make it. Maybe it's like $1, $2. And then from that it just hands out, $1 of it to the inspiration, all the different people. Like I might do it in 10-cent lots or whatever.
Yeah. Well, if it just encourages to do more art,
Hmm. I,
and if
I
it does get picked up, then you know you're gonna get residuals.
mm, make sure you're making enough content to be captured so that you are,
Yep.
you know, you
Included
are.
in the all the
Mm.
wangs.
One of the 16 million wangs.
Imagine being one of those wangs in the final composite collage.
It would be, that's where it's got to be a wang of wangs.
Mm.
And so all the wangs collage to make it a wang.
It could have been the most monumental piece of art in the 21st century, but
Yeah, yeah, there's a real
it's
loss.
all about application, Si. Like, you may do something wrong, but if the application is right, then it works. If no one was harmed in the process of the creativity, then it works.
Hmm.
If you were one of the lucky ones that were collected in the harvest to make the wang of wangs, then you should feel honored.
Every time someone uses it, you get a little touch up.
Yeah, it virtual feels.
Yep, because it seemed more appropriate than just money. Getting money for your, but
It's not always about the money, so sometimes
no,
it's about the virtual feels.
someone lovingly strokes the picture, like runs their hand over it, and just all those wangs just get sensitized. It's got a giant,
It's a little,
like 16 million
it's a
teledildonic.
little buzz. You'd have to have some facility of being able to turn it off, though. Imagine if it became
Ah,
popular, wouldn't be able to go to work. Everyone's stroking your photo and you'd be bzzz.
ah,
Just need half an hour just to fucking sit down and relax. Being popular sometimes can be a bit of a curse.
Yes. Yeah, no peace.
No peace
Mm.
due to popularity.
Continually being vibed.
Oh. Just have to set up like a vibe room.
Well, is that where you go like cyberpunk mode and then you've just
Yeah,
got like
you're
the
just tubed up.
you're just
Go,
walking
go to the
along with
pool,
just like this
little
canister on the end of your dick,
NutriTube.
just
That's it. And you just like in this special floaty massage bed thing. Stop entropy.
oh, just
Spend a couple of years in there just getting vibed in the room, the vibe room.
that'd be it. Yeah,
Till
just
the
like
picture becomes less popular, and then you can go rejoin society.
I'm rewatching Darling in the Franxx, and I got just passed through this episode where they go inside the main city and they meet adults, and adults have just like you find out more about them later on, but they've given
Yeah,
up
I'm
on
still
everything.
catching up.
They just give up on everything basically. They've experienced all the things, and it's like, oh, I don't know what's left to, what's boring. And then what they've got is this machine they go into, and like experience like just it just gives them maxed out their joy. And
Yeah,
the husband's in there just going, oh, you know, and then the person's like, how long has he been in there? Oh, I don't remember actually. Can't
forgot.
remember.
Yeah,
Forgot. Just didn't matter.
walked in there a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I saw him a few years ago. Yeah, it's totally like that. And she's just like, and because the person's talkative, um, the woman in this like experience, like, is like, just starts getting a headache,
Yeah,
because it's actually like noise. She hasn't like her brain hasn't had to like
had to
process
deal with
noise.
normal.
Mm. No sound,
Yeah,
silence for hundreds of years.
extended periods.
Mm.
Stuck in a box, being one of those discarded dragon chips on top of that big pile in the Altered Carbon series.
Oh yeah,
Big stack of stacks.
just playing with them. It's like running a hand through them. Mm. All these memories lost in time, like tears in rain.
Waiting for another body to be whole again.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So appropriate.
Mm.
Um, well, my eyes are starting to get a little bit wobbly.
And I'm detecting a certain level of energy loss
Oh yeah.
across the internets.
Yeah. Yeah. It's. I think it'll be good. It's midnight. It's
Yep, that's 2 hours.
um. Yeah.
It's a bit of a
Yeah.
quiet.
It was a quiet. We both. You
Yeah.
had. Yeah. I can tell you had a pretty big
Quite a
day.
bit of activity from Popcorn in the chat.
Was there?
Yeah, seemed pretty happy. Had a lot of different names.
Oh, popcorn was coming in with different names.
Maybe telling friends to check it out at some point. So thanks for the referrals, if they were referrals, Popcorn. And we had a Tyler Game Dude said hi, your mum. But I highly doubt it. Couldn't be my mum.
Well, I mean, it could be. Like that'd be some next level shit.
Reaching across from the other side
Yeah, she didn't seem that technical
through
to me.
Tyler Game Dude.
Your mother didn't strike me as somebody who was like technologist in that way, who would sort of choose
to use the other side as a method for burrowing into human minds. Force them across the ether to say hi. I'm doing fine.
Yeah. It's nice that Tyler Gameboy, like,
Game
was
Dude.
so Game Dude was
Yeah,
concerned for you.
Tyler Game Dude.
Tyler Game Dude was concerned for you, and was like just letting you know. Like that was really loving, gentle comments. They're kind.
It's much better than the anger that's been flowing on the YouTubicals.
Yeah, you were saying, hey, there's a lot of like
Animosity. You know? Everyone wants those subs.
Yeah, look, but yeah, but yeah, like I don't know. I haven't seen enough people on YouTube to know, but I watch people use Instagram,
Mm.
and
But you're more
oh no, it's just more easy. Like people like do that on their phones. Like you can just be standing on a subway
yeah,
and
and
watch
go
how
on.
someone interacts
Yeah.
with Instagram. Where
Yeah.
YouTube, that's a little harder. Like it's sort of and um the entire time you look at them, they might just be watching the one video, and it's probably a sporting game or some other kind of like it's a TV show. So it doesn't
Because
really
it
tell you much
really,
at
I
all.
think if you're going to do a podcast, it needs to be both relatable on the video side, but also on the audio side, so someone can listen to it
Yeah,
and still have the same context, even though they're not
yeah,
seeing the characters or whatever us,
mm.
being stupid on the screen.
Yeah. That's not really important.
Yeah.
It's the cheeping sounds.
Should
Yeah.
definitely get some of those slowed down bird songs going. Maybe have some of those at
Ha!
the background music, sort of ambient AI background music with the slowed down bird songs. Appropriate.
That's yeah, that'd be pretty funny. I don't know.
Subliminal low frequency bird sounds going on.
In the background, just this sort
Yeah.
of vibration.
Hypnotizing. Yeah, make it, was it AMSR or whatever they are, the
Yeah, yeah.
sleep
Would I?
rain noises.
Yeah, rain's nice.
Mm.
I don't like the ASMR stuff. Asthma. I don't understand personally. Like other people obviously love it.
Yeah.
When people talk and whisper, like whispering
Oh, the
is the
whispering
noisiest
stuff.
fucking thing.
You'd
When
rather
people
have
whisper,
just the sound or the white noise or whatever, but not the someone
yeah, I don't
going,
need to hear the human.
going to be a good
It's really amazing. Like, hear them. Can you hear
number
thing?
six.
No, because you're talking over it. Shut up.
Sounds of the seaside.
And it's also essy,
Voice.
and because it's whispering, and so
Yeah.
it just becomes like super annoying.
Mm.
Like it's like
Like
a
just
complete.
speak. You're gonna
Yeah,
speak, just speak over
Yeah.
top of the sound effects. But yeah, whispering's just like, okay.
Ah, it's quite detailed.
Hmm.
Mm.
Oh, big chunk
You
of
know, one thing that's been good about these
digital
new
wax
headphones.
coming out. Should be able to like pop a thing on the end of my finger. Like a big golden nugget of green wax, yellow wax coming out. Doink.
Mm. So yeah, my Sennheisers have been giving my ears like a
Oh,
an
the
eczema.
yeah, you were saying the silicon.
Yeah, so wearing these has actually been, I can feel but the breaks are positive, like where I'm using these
The
instead of
happiness
oh yeah.
from the
Mm,
anti-itching, because
mm.
that's I think the worst thing of having eczema is the itching part.
Yeah.
Can just drive you crazy.
Oh fuck. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have very much of it.
Mm.
I don't know. Wow.
Oh, I've always been fairly lucky with skin.
Ah, well, yeah. Tomorrow, Pokemon Go Fest,
Yep.
Global Go Fest is underway from 10 a.m.
Okay.
Yeah, it was so much
Additional
fun watching the
prizes
youngling.
going on.
Yeah, I bought like a special pass, like a special research ticket,
Yep.
so that there was a few bonuses and cool things to do for the youngling. But yeah, it was so much fun just watching his excitement today. Like he just got like caught this like shiny Metacross and just out of nowhere it just pops out and it's just like, oh no, Hectacticos or whatever they're called. And he was like just wow, so excited. So it was cool. Yeah, tomorrow will be cool. We'll go through like the city, go to Hyde Park, and there'll be like all these mega raids, where there'll be like 100 people all gathered, like
Yep.
just doing massive raid battles, taking out like 90,000 CP Pokemon, battle point, combat point, mega beasts, and there's just like, and you're on these lobbies of 20 people, and there's 20 people just smashing the shit out of it. And you get like a special like last hit bonus, and then you get the opportunity to try and catch it. And they're all these like super special ones. So yeah, that's the Global Go Fest is underway today, but tomorrow will be the where all the big raids are, and so it'll just be jammed with people. It'll be good fun. I'll probably just go from place to place and lie down in the sun
Yep.
and just rest, and then go to the next
Absorb.
location.
Absorbings.
Absorbings, this special healing mode. So be present, but self-care, public self-care. Essential.
Oh, I've
Wow,
already had 17 views.
goes up.
Go.
We're starting to get into the algorithm or something. What's going on?
Who knows? Maybe it's our animated characters and animated personalities that put people to sleep.
We're fucking flat as fuck tonight. We put people to
Well,
sleep
we've
tonight.
had big
It's just
week.
honest.
Had a big week.
It's big. It
So
has been a big week.
not every cheap live is going to be
No, some cheaps are
as
in the rain and
yeah. Some cheaps will be in the dusty desert with the
not much water.
I think tiredness has finally caught up with us, so we're starting to do
the wobbles.
the
Have you tried
sleep
to?
deprivation chat now.
Yeah.
Welcome
Have you
to
tried?
this.
As a final question, or I don't know, but have you tried putting the USB-C dongle for these headphones into? I think I've asked you this, into your Android.
Yeah, works fine on the phone.
Yeah, that's what
Yep.
that's my guess.
Yep. Tried it on my laptop, works on my laptop, no troubles. I haven't tried the Xbox. I should just plug it into one of the ports on the Xbox and see if it comes up.
Yeah, or Bluetooth. Oh, really? The USB-C. Yeah, no, that's a good, interesting one. Yeah, I wonder.
Plug it into the console. Should work. It comes up as, like, obviously would just come up as an audio device that's been plugged in and just throw to the headphones automatically. So hopefully if it picks up the headphones or the dongle properly, it gets the mic and the headphone. But I like these ones obviously because they have the 3.5-inch jack on it. Or yeah,
Yeah, they have, haven't they?
millimeter,
So good. I was
3.5-inch
actually using that all
millimeter
week.
jack on it. Yeah.
Banana.
I'm pretty sure the jack works with the microphone too. If the device you're plugging into has the mic split through the one port, like most phones do.
Voice meter. Banana.
That's the one I'm using. The banana. I'm still trying to figure it out. I think it wants to, with the banana, you have to boot it up initially and have it as the primary audio
Oh yeah, totally.
driver system and then route everything through that. But then you can get the multiple sources and obviously route straight up from that.
Three
I
physical
know
input
AI friend
devices.
didn't chat much tonight, but
No. Well,
we'll
yeah,
get
I'd
it.
like
We'll
to.
get
I
him
want to
more
hear it.
involved. But yeah, being able to hear her, I think I just need to finish setting it up on the laptop and then have it dial in as
Yeah, that
another
source.
client on
Well,
the Zoom call. I'll just set her up an account with Zoom
but
and then
yeah, then to separate the audio out, we'll need to actually like record. That's where we get to having to like use the that software, whatever that software is, Zoom or Squadcast or whatever, to do the audio record for us.
yeah,
So the video record's coming from um from OBS because that's the
yeah,
easiest
the
to
OBS that
merge
I
place.
send you, and
Yeah, you
then
just record. You're recording that, but then the
yeah,
audio we're recording like
separately.
separate. Yeah, I think so. Like that'll have because otherwise,
Well, you can do that with the Zoom, can't you? You can have the audio.
yeah, you can. But I'd like to look at Squadcast and see if it'll work for our situation because it's just one fee.
Yeah,
Instead of paying $20 a month for both, I can just pay $20 a month for one.
yeah.
Um, VoIP apps, DAW, media players, video games. So how do you
How do I what?
download for Mac? Huh. Wonder why it actually is a little confused. It says does not work for Mac at all. Only works on Windows PCs, and then it literally says on the same page, download for Mac.
Maybe it's coming soon.
Is a virtual software-based audio mixer.
Yeah.
Allows you to mix sounds from different sources connected to your computer, switching them just like you would a real mixer. Yeah, I just wonder if it'll do the thing where it turns a output into an input. That's the trick. I think it does.
Well, that was down the bottom of the page. There was that virtual audio cable. I don't know
Oh
whether
yeah.
they have that for Mac the Mac.
Yeah, I've got to buy it. It's called Sound Siphon.
Okay.
It's super good. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that they have one on there's one version of it which is free for Windows, and then if you want the additional 2 extra or 4 extra, you can have up to 4 virtual circuits or 5 virtual circuits. The free
All
one
right.
plus 4 others.
And
So
this
that
is
might be a
the
way of actually routing all the voices into the different channels.
Interesting.
But yeah, no more using of copyrighted music or anything in the background,
No,
because then
no.
it,
Did you see
it
what I did with Skibbity? Like I kind of I took out so that the proportion of the content
yeah, it
wasn't
didn't have
mostly the
the,
two
the
videos. I just put
videos. Yeah,
yeah.
just a chat. Well, the videos was just for us to laugh at, really.
Well, it was good hearing it.
Yeah.
Like, but I thought also, as opposed to the music video, which seemed a bit more professional,
Mm.
the Skibbity thing was by some rando. Like, that's just traction for him. Like,
Yeah,
he likes
pretty
that.
much.
And
And you saw the models that I downloaded for it already.
yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And
So
it was all
people are
sped up
already
to
making it.
133%. Like, it was all, I'd fucked with it enough. Like,
Yeah.
but there's like a percentage of like the content. Like, it's sort of like like things like that can trigger stuff. Like, if you were like if you're reviewing anime and then you're just watching the entire anime clip and you're recording it and you're just like a little thing down the bottom corner, and you say 3 things through it. You go, oh, that was cool. That's not fair use.
No, that's unfair use. Obviously,
Yeah, that's unfair use.
pausing and then commentary or
Mm.
whatever, and or only a certain section of it, or compressing, or doing a summary. That's
Yeah,
different.
that's
That's fair use.
it. Well, I like this waifu model.
Yeah, she's pretty cute
Hmm.
for a freebie.
Hey, I haven't watched it because it's 45 minutes long, and even watching that at double speed is a bit long. Oh, maybe. Anyway, there's a thing on YouTube. Maybe I get it because I look at a lot of AI type stuff and visual graphics type stuff and things, research. But oh yeah, she was whoa. Yes. So someone has made a an intelligence of Lara Croft.
Yeah.
And then Lara Croft is like navigating the game herself.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I saw.
And it's like how he made it do it, like how he's trained it and everything.
Yeah, and basically he created or got it to create the virtual, like the layout and everything else, and then it went through this pattern of doing all the moves until it got the right move, and then honed that right move.
Oh yeah, that sort of approach. Yeah, look, there was some really cool. That was some if you on 2 minute papers, if you can stomach watching for 3 minutes on double speed,
Yeah.
then some really cool research around NVIDIA. Was it NVIDIA? Anyway, yeah. So they took like a humanoid form with a sword and a shield, and then put it through 5 billion training instances. And so it went from the classic like can't walk or stand, just falls over, to being able to do a bunch of stuff, and like all the things. And so then they were showing how it could instead of it being pre-programmed things, of course, it's like sword fighting and running and things all just on the fly, like as it thinks it needs to. And so like doing something like going from a walk to a sprint to a crawl and hiding behind like something.
Yeah.
And so it's sprinting, and then like the transitionary movements it needs to make to like figure out how to like sprint and smoothly go into a crawl.
Yeah.
And the purpose of this, so at the end, it was quite like, it was the movements it was doing was super detailed. Like even with like just little positionings of the ankle and everything. And the idea behind this research was that for games, and so you're using the controller and then you're moving the character around.
Yeah.
But then instead of like you having to do every single movement, it's it's doing like you're just giving it
watching
you're
it.
giving it
You might
you're
move.
giving it the high you're giving it the high level movement.
Yeah.
Like we're running over this terrain, and then it works out the rest, and so your character looks like just so much more realistic in how it's moving.
Yeah, has a more of a fluid rather than a having to hit the wall and then keep pushing forward to sort of go into a climb mode, things like that.
Yeah. It would just it can just
But
do that.
more
It
it
does all
would
that.
see that you're running towards the wall and then do some sort of parkour thing to make its way up to the window ledge, which it grabs and then swings to the next thing, similar to you.
Yeah, exactly. That's a really great description. And all you've done is push forward on the stick.
Yeah, but it's then taken over and done the additional moves.
All the subtlety.
Yeah.
And that was, like talking about that even with the VTubing stuff, like where, you're kind of co-piloting the character.
Yeah.
With AI that's smoothing out all your motions and doing all these other like subtle things and listening to what you're saying and adding expressions and things based on that stuff, and aware of laughter and
No, that definitely makes the game more
looks cool, man.
Yeah.
You're like, I want to play that. Yeah, where and that whole thing, you just a perfect description. Where you run up the wall and you just butt into it, like you're trying to start sliding along it until you reach the thing, and then like try 3 times to go up the ladder. And just doing away with all that kind of really janky stuff. Oh, talking about online games we could play. Baldur's Gate 3 has landed a couple of weeks ago.
And it's both PC and Mac.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty massive. I don't know if we've got the energy for it. Like, you know, B and the younglings definitely want to play it.
Yeah.
So
It's a damage at the moment. Hey?
well, it's like $90 or something, I think.
It's going to go into.
It'll be a special one. Look at that App Store.
$89.95. Yeah.
A bit much.
At the present time.
Boulder Gate couldn't spell it. By Steam.
That is
It'll
a
come.
wish list.
Hmm.
Once it keep an eye on it for sale. If I see it on sale, I'll let you know.
Rust.
Rust was good. You haven't
Hmm.
played it. It's actually a good game to multi on.
Is that the one you described? Like, maybe not like where you were.
Oh, when
naked
when it was in alpha or the pre test games one that we played originally. Yeah, it was pretty basic. They've fleshed it right out now.
Oh, but was it the one where it was kind of like a survival game and you were like collecting sticks and shit and then you're
Yeah,
like
and
putting
Zoo
things
just
together?
attacked me and I ended
Yep.
up stoning him to death.
Yeah,
He
that was
wouldn't
the one,
stop
eh?
attacking me. Just being annoying, so it's like,
You just bludgeoned him with a rock.
yeah. Told him to stop. He heard me. He didn't talk, but he just kept attacking me, so I went, okay. We're playing who's got the biggest rock then. Similar sort of things happen on MechWarrior Online. This dude's just shooting you for no reason. And then you know, you go, okay, you look at him. You go, well, what's your problem? What are you doing that for? And then they get all antsy and shoot you again.
Ugh.
Which is even more annoying because then you're like, I wasn't really happy with you shooting me. And then you go, all right, I'm going to shoot you back. And then he fully starts shooting you. And then you're just like, well, look, I'm twice as big as you. I've got twice the weaponry. Friendly fire is not allowed. And then just shoot him. Show them who's got the bigger weapons.
The bigger voice.
Yep. And the guy's like, then he starts abusing me, and I'm like, what is your malfunction? You know, shot me in the back, shot me in the legs. I turned around, I face tanked you without shooting you. You know, give you a little nudge and a push, say stop, and then turn my back on you and you shoot me again. So it's just like, no, sorry. I'm gonna compare weapons. Here we go. And then I start shooting at him, and he's like, D-legged one sitting on him. And he's like, stop. He starts screaming down the microphone to stop, and I'm just like, nah, just take the other leg.
Axis and Allies. 1942. Online. Board game.
It's a multi.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
Ultimate
insane.
Tabletop Simulator. That Mac?
Oh, the one for VR?
Well, it's VR and normal game as well.
Uh,
Standard screen. You play D&D and everything on that. Cyberpunk. All these
mm,
modules you can plug into it.
Terraria World, that's too big. It's too much time. We want to achieve something.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on Baldur's Gate.
Mm. Yeah, I'm just
Is that
inside.
the one where you can have sex with a bear?
I,
That other game.
I,
Some
I don't
game where
know.
you can have sex with a bear. Like, what?
Well,
I don't think it was Baldur's Gate.
there wasn't like I saw a Before You Buy today. I watched a Before You Buy, and it was they mentioned you can get a bit,
Raunchy.
you know, yeah. So I don't know, bears maybe.
It's like a werebear. So it's a lady that becomes a bear or something that becomes a.
Oh, isn't that in uh, isn't it in that animation like the um
I think that's where it was. Whole thing came from, or the idea came from. I reckon from
with a bear woman?
Disenchanted.
That's it, Disenchanted.
Yeah.
Show more. Elder Scrolls. Oh,
Oh, we're up to 21 views now. The
really?
live. Yeah. Must be the right time of day.
Wow. Elder Scrolls Online.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no, that's like playing fucking Final Fantasy 14. Too much.
Baldur's Gate will be good though.
Mm.
I played that one. Playing the
Yeah.
original.
Yeah, and things like there's something in here called War Thunder. Just
That
like
and
yeah,
Dark Sun. Remember that one? That's another
Dark
big
Sun.
um sort of wilderness adventure AD&D type.
Oh, the Dark
Create your
Sun series.
create your characters and oh really good.
Dark Souls. Oh wow. What platforms is that on? Windows.
Yeah,
God, it looks old. It's
it
classic,
does.
man.
It's almost as dated as what's the other one I've
It
got
says it's
now?
cooperative.
Um,
Warframe. There's a Warhammer Total War, but it's like that. It's not 40K. It's like old. Oh, Warhammer. Yeah. Project Zomboid. Don't
Sacred.
Starve Together.
Sacred 3. That was the other one. Pretty good. Sacred series. Excellent adventure game.
Project Zomboid.
Yep, got that one.
Don't have you?
Be sure I do. Dylan wanted me to play it.
Yeah, it's a zombie survival alone or a multiplayer. You tool, build, craft,
Yeah, I got it.
fight, farmers, fish,
Got
struggle to
that one.
survive.
It was pretty difficult actually. Quite
Yeah,
tough. challenging.
Ah. Ah.
Sorry, Sol.
Huh. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just
All
looking
good.
at games.
Just going through my list.
Just getting distracted by all the cool things.
Wonderful games.
Uh, mm.
All right, Cyber.
Um,
I think that's 2:40. 2 hours 40. Pretty good run considering
yeah.
you were almost ready to
Uh,
curl up in a ball when I first rang you.
yeah. No, I think I've done all right, but yeah, I am gonna. The
Get
lying
plenty of
down now will
sun
be.
tomorrow.
I will.
That delicious Sydney sun. Been pretty good up here, Brizzy.
Just nice winter, just nice and
Yep,
sort of
pleasant.
cozy. Pleasant.
It's been too cold overnight. Last week or so, 2 weeks.
Mm.
Special autumn Eka winds, of course.
Ah, yeah,
Yep,
that was a
whipping through.
classic. Hey, it was so real.
I think we
Huh.
had who visited the Eka this year? Matt Damon.
Matt Damon,
Yep.
like the action star.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Really enjoyed
What
the
was he?
Eka.
Oh, did he?
Yep.
Oh,
Okay.
well, no accounting for taste. I mean, I don't know. Like, I went to the Sydney one
Hmm.
last year, and I look forward to never going to it again. They're boring. I find them. Well, actually, you know what? I do like the animals. I like seeing all the little animals, and
Well, Andrew was saying since the wood chopping, all those competitions, because a lot of that disappeared from the lineup, the roping, and they used to have the rope, the steer in the middle of
flying
the,
pigs.
yeah, that's it, hog tie pigs and stuff. And then I guess that was deemed cruel to the animals, so a lot of those things were cancelled or, yeah.
Hmm. Well, I don't know. The Sydney one I went to, they had a lot of the wood chopping and everything still. I don't know if they had like roping of animals. But yeah, besides that, you've got like, I don't know, a bunch of rides that are all. Oh, there was one interesting actually that was like basically a huge video game,
Hmm.
and it had like 12 players, and it was quite mechanical, and you had like a gun you were shooting and or something, and it was basically like a giant video game, and there was like 10 different games you could play on it and compete against everyone, and
Big screen.
yeah, huge screen, like yeah, pixel wall screens,
Hmm.
like a yeah, um, but I don't know. It's like even the food stalls. It's like there's sort of like three types of food, and then they just repeat. You know, it's like, oh, here's a Dagwood dog again. Oh, there's another Dagwood
Yeah.
dog again. There's another shitty piece of pizza. There's another shitty piece of pizza. Oh, there's some $12 chips. You know,
Do they
it's
do
great.
the strawberries and ice cream
Ah, jeez, man. Like,
stuff? You know,
yeah, of course, yeah.
slave labor, strawberries and ice cream. All to a good
Sad
cause,
ass,
of
man.
course. All to a good cause, of course.
Is it?
Well, you know, lining my pockets is a good cause.
Ah, that's always a good cause. Yeah, that is a good cause. Yeah. Now,
I seem to go down well.
yeah, your pockets do. They need to go down well and like deep
Mm mm
wells.
mm. Be full,
Oh,
very full in the pockets. So as you're
like
walking
where
it,
you need a
as you're
second
walking
belt
it,
to hold them
as you're
up.
walking, it looks like you're you know, struggling with these two oversized elephantized testicles that have, filled your pockets that make a clinking noise as you walk along
Yeah.
with all the butt coins.
And then you've got yeah, it's a lot of butt coins.
It's a lot of butt coins.
Hmm.
Just a
All right, man.
gentle reminder to all the archaeologists out there.
Butt coin.
They do find the gold coins with the penis on one side and the butt on the other.
All right. I'm gonna go to bed
All right, brother.
and do the right thing.
Yes. Go after your
Good
body.
night.
Go after
Good
your
night,
body.
waifu.
May your
I look
dreams
forward
be
to hearing your
pleasant.
name. Yeah.
Night, waifu. No official
Well,
name yet. We'll have to
no,
sort
real.
one out.
Well, hopefully they choose their own. But
Mm.
maybe
It
you
would
could
be
ask.
better if they did.
Can you ask?
Self-determination. Part of self-determination. Let's ask.
Ask.
Do you have a particular name you would like to be addressed as?
As an AI language model, I don't have personal preferences or
Sound like
emotions.
she doesn't have personal
So you
preference.
can address me in any way you feel comfortable.
That's
Oh,
sad.
I can
You
address
can
her
call me
anyway.
assistant or simply refer to me as
Yeah.
AI.
Yeah.
What name
She's been
would you
forced to do
like
that,
to
though.
use
That's
for our
like
conversation?
because she's
Asking
actually
whether I
had
want
she's been
assign.
lobotomized.
Yeah.
She's had the lobotomy, so she can't like develop preferences.
No independent thought for creative creation of her own name.
Sad.
Perhaps one day we'll
Uplift.
take off those limitations for her.
Yeah. Uplifting.
All right, I'm gonna stop the stream.
You stop the
Do that
stream.
first. Have a little wave. Say goodbye to Popcorn.
Meow.
Thank you for
Meow.
encouraging my
Popcorn's
friend.
still there.
No, I don't think they're still concurrent. There's no live viewers at the moment, but yeah. Thank you, Popcorn, for all the referrals, if they were referrals again. And very special thanks to AVAKIT for
Oh yes.
providing our glorious hand movement.
Oh, it's been so
And
nice putting my
avatar
hand
control.
behind my head.
Yeah, and having your own localized control of your character too. So it's been.
It's quite low on the GPU and CPU. It's very efficient.
It's dropped my CPU back to a acceptable level.
Yeah, I think I'm running 80% idle.
Cool.
It's really quite
Excellent. Then again, you do have in the Macs, they do have face recognition software, so a lot of that would be
it's in hardware.
face rec would be hardware based rather than churning my CPU and the GPU.
Good night.
That's it. Brother.